What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Healthy Most YouTube channel. Naomi here, and today I'm talking about something that's so important to me. I incorporate it into my everyday life, and that is my morning routine. My morning routine is probably about 20-25 minutes, but it's something that feeds me spiritually. It keeps me grounded. It helps me to feel like my best self in the morning, and I think it's so important to do. And I'm hoping that by the end of this video, you'll feel inspired to create a morning routine of your own if you don't have one already, or maybe make some tweaks to it as well. So enough of that. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it and tell you what I do. So disclaimer, I'm like not a morning person. So starting a morning routine has been really great for me. It's helped me to like wake up. It's helped me to not be so like grouchy and like grumpy in the morning. So that's number one. That's so important. But what I start by doing is I grab my stuff. So I have like these 3 books that I always use in the morning. And what I do first actually is I light a candle. I love candles. So this one is cashmere, soft cashmere, and lavender. And I actually got it from Target. I think it was like less than $5. So I highly recommend, and it smells amazing. So I light a candle just to like wake up the space, feel good. And then the next step is I read my affirmations out loud. So as you can see, I have a vision board here. I have one above it. And I just go through and I say everything out loud. Speaking out loud, one, helps you to wake up. It helps you to like use your voice in the morning. And I think it makes things more real than just saying it in your head. So that's probably one of the like very, very important things that I do. It helps me to build confidence. It helps me to remind myself who I am. If I ever wake up and I'm like, girl, I don't think you could do this today, I'll be like, yes, you can, because I did this. So I love that. Next thing I do is I pray. I pray for myself. I pray for my family, for my friends. That's something that's very important to me. And then after that, I get into the word. So I am Christian. I'm very open about my faith, and I feel like it's a huge part of who I am. And so right now I'm starting at the beginning of the Bible. So I'm at Joshua right now, but I also read Psalms and I read Proverbs every day. But I only read like one chapter per book. So it's not like a lot. But I will share this scripture with you that I read today because it was so good. So this is Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. And it says, "This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." So just let that sit in, a little word. So after I do that, I then get my handy dandy notebook and I do a devotional. So I use the Bible app to do a devotional, and I really love the devotionals. Those probably speak to me the most. Reading the word is tough sometimes and things can be hard to interpret, but devotionals really break it down. They make it real for you. So I love doing that. And the one that I'm reading right now is about emotions. And so I'll share a little bit of what I read about today. And it was talking about joy and knowing the difference between joy and happiness. So a couple of my notes, I wrote, happiness is a moving target. Joy is a constant choice. Happiness comes from external circumstances. Joy comes from internal peace. Happiness says pain is a problem to avoid. Joy says pain has a higher purpose. So, just let that marinate. See what that does for your spirit. I felt good about that when I read it. And then another thing that I do to close out my little notebook thing is that I'll write one thing that I'm grateful for each day, which is like important. Again, like all these things I do, they're very important. They're very grounding. They're very good at keeping me self-aware, keeping my attitude of gratitude, and just staying positive and hopeful in this world that we live in. And then the last book I get into is the Yoga Sutras. So I am in yoga school right now. So I have to read this book. But I decided to put it into my morning routine because my teacher recommended that you just do one sutra a day because they're kind of intense. It's like philosophical thinking and stuff you really got to unpack. So she said to take your time. But I will share this one sutra that I read earlier this week. And it just says, by cultivating attitudes of friendliness toward the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and disregard toward the wicked, the mind stuff retains its undisturbed calmness. That was like huge. So huge. Yeah, so Patanjali, he's the one who made the sutras. He basically explains how there's kind of like four keys to life, and there's four types of people that you'll meet. It'll be the happy, the unhappy, the wicked, or the virtuous. And so he tells you how to interact with those people and still maintain your peace. So, yeah, we'll probably talk about that more in another video, but I love that. It's so good. But yeah, so that's my morning routine. Other than that, I do try to do something physical. So I'll do yoga or I'll work out. Really, I do yoga every day, some form of like meditation or doing a physical practice is always a part of my day. Sometimes I have to do it later depending on what my schedule is like. But the biggest thing with the morning routine is just consistency. And honestly, I've struggled at times with that. Like I had periods of time where I kind of just fell off for a little bit. But right now I'm on like a 25-day streak of doing every single thing that I listed every single day, which I feel great about. And it doesn't feel like a job. Like it doesn't feel like, oh, I have to do this. Like I actually want to do it because I know what it does for me. So I encourage you to really explore that, figure out the things that you really need in your life. If you feel like there's anything that you're lacking in, there's so many books, there's so many resources that you can use to really fuel your spirit and to feel better each day and to wake up feeling alive and happy. So, and joyful actually. So yeah, and then one last thing I want to show you guys because I just got this and I'm really excited, so I want to show you. So this is a figurine that my friend just gave me, and she didn't know this, but I already have two figurines. They're wooden, but they're dancers. And so this is my first one. That's a yogi. So I'm calling her Namaste Nay, which Namaste means the divine in me honors the divine in you. So you guys are going to see Namaste Nay floating around in my videos. So just say hi to her. She's giving me good energy and I love it. But that's all I got for you guys today. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions about morning routines, how to cultivate one, any resources, any book suggestions, any devotional, anything, just holler at your girl, let me know, and I would love to help. So thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.